We only asked the questions. I know that some weren't right. They pulled the plug and our careers went out just like a lie. What they said was offensive, we thought was cutting edge. The truth from our perspective, this was our only pledge. It's the price that you pay. The skies, they went from blue to darkest grey. This really was the price we had to pay. Our egos, they sometimes got in the way. This really was the price we had to pay.
I'm Ginger Jenkins. I'm off to a small town in Lancashire to meet with Britain's former most hated couple to discuss the show that ended them and the controversy that almost tore them apart as we revisit Wake Up England. It's Ginger time. Is there a child lock on this, mate?
10 years. 10 years. We would have loved to have done that show for 10 years, but instead, after just 6 shows, we're given 6 minutes to say our goodbyes.
Indeed. And I can't express to you, our loyal fans, just how empty I feel within. I mean, I haven't felt this bad since the Gary Glitter revelations.
Yes, and we know how badly that affected you.
Indeed. Well, they shouldn't release sensitive information like that on radio airwaves during rush hour. It's just irresponsible.
Indeed.
Irresponsible.
For the viewers, okay?
Sorry. We're live from Blue Studios.
It's 6:30 a.m.
It's time to Wake Up, England!
So, that really is it, I'm afraid. Next time you need a problem solving or a delicate family issue tackling, you have to go to him and his genius on the other channel.
Which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. He's very good at what he does.
If you're an underachiever or an ex-con's wife.
Like this cancelled in the...
Right. And that was that. Poof. All over. So much more than a TV show. So much more.
So tell us about Daughtergate.
Daughtergate.
I knew they'd bring it up.
It was a classic example of wartime propaganda. We asked parents to send in photographs of their daughters on the beach.
It was for Beach Babies.
The Beach Babies contest. Baywatch had just been cancelled. It was a fitting tribute to what was a fabulous show.
A great show, which we really enjoyed watching.
Yeah.
To be honest, in our opinion, it's no different to Crowns and Frowns, which is a toddler pageant set in Bognor once a year, and you never, ever hear of them getting death threats.
No, I mean, talk about moral panic. It was crazy.
Ridiculous.
I mean, there was 200 people outside the studio all campaigning for you to be sacked or for you to resign. What did that feel like?
I mean, it wasn't nice, was it? We understood, though. I mean,
Well,
you know, they were hurt.
confused.
And in the vast majority of the cases, they were, the producers...
They paid them off.
Yeah.
I felt betrayed as well, because I'd just been on holiday to Amsterdam for a weekend with the producers, you know, and couldn't believe they would then stab me in the back like that, especially knowing what I knew.
And what did you know?
Well, I knew what a disloyal bastard that Steve Wicks is, and how if certain photographs of him and that model, Hugo, got into the wrong hands, he wouldn't have a marriage, would he?
Calm down.
I'm sorry, I'm getting angry. Can we cut? Sorry. I'm getting one of my headaches.
What did you bring it up for?
Look, can you stop me if I?
How can I get away
That's
with
what
it?
they want. That's what they want out of this.
That's what you're giving them.
No, well,
Haven't we learned anything from last
okay, well,
time?
we'll make sure we get to the edit. But you can you stop me? Yeah. This week in Fat to Fit in 5 with Finn, we look at pregnancy. Over to you, Finn.
Now, if there's one thing that women complain to me the most about, it's losing weight after pregnancy. Now, there is one easy solution to this. Don't get fat in the first place.
Tough love.
I mean, Danny wasn't offended, were you?
No, not at all.
Fat?
I'm with Pippa here. Now, she's 6 months pregnant, isn't that right, Pip?
No, I'm 3 months, actually.
Okay, now here's a classic example of someone that's massively let themselves go during pregnancy. Just one thing before we start, though. Can I get a zoom?
Now, it's time for our brand new weekly feature, Silver Lining, with Ewan McIntosh, where we ask one of you horrible lot, our loyal viewers, to come and tell us how miserable your life is. And we'll show you how actually your life is better with the misery in it. And in fact, your cloud does have a silver lining. So with that in mind, please let's have a big Wake Up England welcome to one of the UK's comedy actors, Ewan McIntosh.
Hi, David.
None of us here would like to be blind, and as we're not ignorant on this show, no siree, we want to find out what it feels like to be blind. So, could we kill the lights, please? Well, I can still see you because of the daylight. Sack the producer. I'll tell you what, let's close our eyes then. Ewan, are you still there?
Yes, still here.
Good. How do you feel?
Well, I don't like this at all.
Me neither. No wonder you're so upset about your nan.
Yeah.
This young lad we invited on the show, and it was an invitation that he chose to accept. We didn't force him. Tony, his name was, 13, came off his bike, but he wasn't wearing a helmet. He hit one of those slow down children signs. Boom, lights out, completely blind. And Ewan and I felt it was our job, frankly, to show him his silver lining.
Great. Absolutely great! Why did you wait till I'm in the shower, eh? Have you seen the state of my face? Burn again!
All right, calm down. Look, you get the cream, I'll get the gloves.
Right.
This little boy is a blind boy. And you've brought with you your dad, have you, Tony?
No, this is my mum's boyfriend.
Oh. Modern.
Well, in my opinion, he was just a rude boy.
Oh, he was a bit rude, but he was only a kid.
A bit? He had no respect for Ewan at all, did he? And no understanding of the cost implications. Professionals like Ewan do not come cheap.
He's an actor. What experience can he possibly have?
Well, none.
But he doesn't need any because he is a celebrity.
Sorry, if I can just stop you, you're wrong there. I do actually have personal experience when it comes to sight issues.
Yeah, you do.
I know what it's like firsthand because my nan recently had her cataracts done and I had to look after her, so...
What a decent chap, huh?
I know.
Not all about you, Tony, is it? But still, as you're here, tell us, how has being blind affected your life?
It was a perfectly reasonable question. I knew he couldn't see, that was obvious. What I wanted to ascertain was how much he could see. I mean, the whole feature was about finding your silver lining. I found that for him. And we now know he went on to university.
And he got a job.
Yeah. I should get some credit for that, actually.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Well, I can sometimes see shapes moving.
Okay. Can you see my hands?
I can see something.
Ah, well, at least that's something.
Well, it's more than something. I mean, my nan can't even see that.
A few people, well, a lot of people, have said that Ewan overreacted. But I think it's just testament to how passionate he was about everything.
Exactly. He's an actor, for crying out loud. Signing on is very close to his heart, and the thought of someone making a false claim is like taking food from his mouth, and he eats a lot.
Well, he could be big boned, couldn't he?
Danny, there were 18 chicken wings on that comic relief platter. We didn't get a sniff. I'm just saying.
Well, it's all okay coming on here, isn't it? Saying, oh, look, I'm fine, but I bet it's a very different story when you're down the DSS, isn't it? Eh? I bet your life's a whole lot more tragic when your mum's sorting out your benefits.
Are you saying I shouldn't get any?
Well, my nan doesn't get any.
Oh, Ed.
Hang on.
Off. You're not my real dad.
You lose your temper, you lose the argument, and that's a fact.
Fat people are more likely to give birth to a ginger child. Fat people more likely to claim benefits. And left and right. Imagine being in that dole queue. There's a rush to get the counter. You need to pick up your money. Who's going to get there first? The fit one, not the fat one. Now come on. When you're around the house with a little baby, the easy way to burn off calories, scrub the floor. Now Pippa, get down on the ground. Scrub that floor.
Welcome back to...
Now, as always, we've got some rather exciting news. Diana's broke all records, but this one really is to die for.
Oh, and I'm diving excitement already. I absolutely cannot wait. For those of you that missed the visual spectacular that was the Queen Mother's funeral tour, as she weaved her way as regally as ever throughout the streets of London, we here now have got some incredible news for you.
Yes, we have, Danny, because from Monday morning, you can relive the conundrum of emotions as the Queen Mother's funeral procession starts a city-to-city UK tour. Darren has this for us now. Darren, over to you.
Well, David, I'm at a cemetery and I've dug up some wonderful news. Now, we've teamed up with the British Spirit Centre of High Barnet. They are happy to announce that the following major towns and cities will be visited on the tour, and that's London, Manchester, Birmingham and Leeds. Now, the coffin will be laid to rest, but temporarily, and it's just to give the pallbearers a bit of a break, before continuing onto one of the Queen Mother's favourite haunts, Scotland.
Seriously? That is fantastic. Is this going international?
Well, we're actually not able to confirm whether or not it's going to be a world tour. We just need to see the demands of the tickets.
Oh, it's just going to be massive. It's going to be huge. But I have a question. I think everyone will be thinking this. Won't the body have decomposed somewhat by now?
Again, a perfectly reasonable question.
And it didn't matter anyway, because as we now know, there was no actual body, so it's fine.
Thank you. Yeah. I've told you before, free range is different to organic, isn't it?
Don't need free range or organic eggs. Eggs are eggs.
Well, let's hope they're low in fat, shall we? Come on. Let me help you with that. The keys.
Not yet, sweetheart. Not yet. Hey?
Loose Women is on in 7 minutes. It's an 8-minute drive.
As much as we wanted an exact reconstruction, the actual event did happen some time ago, and the vessel that carried our sweet mother has long since left and flown with the angels. So no, there won't be a body.
A body in a coffin undergoes its own intrinsic breakdown with enzymes and chemicals released by the dead cells. The pancreas, for example, is packed with digestive enzymes, so it very rapidly digests. The whole front of the body swells up, and the tongue may protrude like this. Fluid from the lungs then oozes out of the mouth and nostrils.
Nobody would have wanted to have seen that.
This is cold.
Oh, well, David, it's actually better than a body, as the Queen Mother herself will be joining us in spirit. Her actual spirit.
This gets better by the second, doesn't it, darling?
Yeah.
Joining us today from High Barnet and founder of the Spirit Centre, star of Steve Sees All on Psychic Channel 437, let's give a big wake-up welcome to Psychic Steve.
Thanks for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure.
And it was such a good day. It was magical, you know. Queen Mother's funeral tour. I hope the Queen dies so I can do another.
Now, how did this all come about?
Well, I was just making a tuna mayo panini, and there she was, bold as brass, staring out at me from the fridge light.
Incredible. What was actually said when Her Royal Highness appeared in the fridge?
That is extraordinary. Danny doesn't believe in ghosts, but I told her I once saw her mother in spirit form walking the red light district of Lum asking for a cigarette.
But I didn't say I didn't believe in ghosts, but for one, my mother isn't dead, right? And for two, she hasn't walked since 1963, so that is just absolute.
So less apparition, more premonition then.
Yeah, funny.
I thought so. Now, people can buy tickets to the auspicious event by dialing alphanumeric 0800 Royal Wreath or visit us at the website on www.itsbiggerthandianas.com.
Great. And what are we looking at cost-wise?
Well, it's actually quite reasonable. It's only £25 a ticket, and that includes a moment alone with Her Royal Highness.
That's impressive, isn't it?
When I say alone, in groups of 50 or so?
Still impressive.
Darren, this all sounds fantastic. We've already bought our tickets.
Yeah, yesterday.
Very excited. But how can the general public be sure that this is the real Queen Mummy's spirit and not just some roaming wannabe?
Well, David, that's actually a good point, but if you walk past the coffin, there is an overpowering sense of gin and bankruptcy, and you don't really get that at any other funeral, do you? But for that number again, it's 0800 Royal Wreath, or visit the website...
Hello. What's going on?
Look, just a quick autograph, yeah, because we are filming for something here.
Filming what?
This is a cool new chat show called Wake Up England.
Well, mate, you're trespassing.
Why?
Why? Why? That's my dad's funeral down there. Why?
Oh, this is brilliant filming. Has the coffin gone in yet?
What?
Oh, no, sorry, I've just heard what I said. Has your dad gone in yet?
Are you taking the I'll knock you out in a minute, you Robert! Shut the up, Robert!
It's a lovely guitar.
I mean, the guy was mourning. You know, he just lost his dad. And he was very emotional, you know, he wasn't thinking straight.
Ultimately, that guy came to us in tears and left with a big smile. Because of Wake Up England, he forgot all about his dead dad. That's a definite highlight.
I knew that I had to give him and his family tickets for free for the Queen Mother's funeral tour.
How does that sound?
Free? Did you have a go? Yeah. What's going on? Sorry, he's just getting us tickets for the Queen Mother's second funeral. Can you believe that, guy? The Queen Mother's second funeral, that's who I'm going to be mourning next.
Look at that. Look at that. Look how happy they are. I'm happy. He's happy. We're all happy. Back to the studio. Look at you.
Thank God for that. That was a bit touch and go for a minute, that wasn't it?
Yeah.
Woo, high five. Hey, thank goodness. And they do look happy, I have to say. They look really happy.
They did. Look, we were providing a service.
Yeah.
When the whole Queen Mother thing happened, we were away, staying with Amish relatives in Ohio.
Good times.
Yeah. And I'd already received a few public lashings, hadn't I, for checking my emails. I didn't fancy any more of those.
No.
So we handed in our phones,
And our
we?
laptops.
And our laptops, and we missed the whole thing.
I suppose you might say that any hope we'd had of saying goodbye had gone with her. We just wanted to give people a chance to say goodbye, that's all. You know, I mean, for 25 quid.
Selfless.
We thought so. I'm very excited. Are you excited?
Very excited.
Are we going?
Yeah, let's do that.
Absolutely, and we'll have more on that after this.
Well, just agree with me. We've got to get our story straight.
I've done nothing but agree with you for the last 8 years, and that's why we don't have a show anymore. Is all I'm saying.
Danny, we've got no veggie sausages.
Table 4, a vegetarian.
Right, okay, well, are the sausages in the fridge?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out of date. Give them because they'll taste shit enough and they won't know the difference.
People were hurt, David. They felt the whole thing was insensitive.
Yes, and in hindsight, it was a mistake. It shouldn't have been a postcode lottery. We should have taken it everywhere, not just to those who lived in major cities.
Well, thanks very much, Darren, and good luck with that tour. Break your hip.
Oh, very good, dear.
Thank you.
Didn't mention that at the script meeting.
I hadn't thought of it then,
Well,
so...
it's not the Danny show, is it? Let's try and
It's
share the
one line per end.
Okay. Thank you very much. Television is cutthroat. Only the strongest survive. Man at the back there.
There's no toilet roll in room number 8.
Right. Yeah. Any genuine questions? Madam, are you pursuing a career in television?
No.
No? You, sir? Probably not.
No.
No. Well, I got started making teas and coffees for Timmy Mallet.
Alone with Daniela, I was keen to find out what regrets she had about the Queen Mother feature.
It's funny when I look back. Yeah, I still think we did the right thing.
Exactly, Danny, we did do the right thing. I mean, the only reason we were vilified is because the TV execs felt threatened, didn't they? I mean, they should have thought of it themselves, but they didn't.
No, we did.
If they had the final decision, they wouldn't have let it go out, would they? I mean, it was distasteful, it was disrespectful. I mean, that's just my opinion, David.
Listen to yourself.
Yeah.
It's your opinion, it's not fact. I mean, how old are you?
Just turned 30. Why is that?
You see, you're too young. This wasn't of your time. She was like Elvis or the Beatles or Kerry Katona to these people. They wanted to mourn her properly.
Kerry Katona's not dead.
Socially.
Stacey was our royal correspondent, and we loved her like a cousin, like a second cousin. Anyway, Danny did get personal, I know, but she was acting out of love. Love for women everywhere who've been screwed over by men.
Thank you, Stacey, for coming on today and sharing this with us.
You're very welcome.
No, really, thank you. If a lesser woman had just discovered her husband's affair with her sister, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have been able to deliver the news quite so well. You, my friend, are the epitome of professionalism and strength, and for that, we thank you.
It's a shame. He's a great footballer.
Yeah,
hold on. Okay. Just look at her. I do have sleepless nights, but not about that. I mean, when I heard Stacey had jumped off that multi-storey car park, I did feel sad, but not responsible. I mean, lots of girls tried that tactic, didn't they, when Take That split up the first time. But they've been allowed back, haven't they, to make some of their best work. Robbie's back. Why can't we have our show back? And if anyone should feel guilty, it's Danny. She told her.
Next week, Dave and Danny try to defend their social experiment.
I know, Big Brother got away with it. I mean, what was the point? Why were we so viciously attacked?
I don't know. And there was never, ever any evidence that they were being held against their will.
We're very sure of that.
And we catch up with some of the contestants and find out how their lives were affected. And as always, we wait for that heartfelt apology that will lead them back into the hearts of you, the general public. Join us next time on Wake Up England, the day that morning was broken.
Do you want a black ginger baby? Scrub that floor! We only asked the questions. I know that some weren't right. They pulled the plug and our careers went out just like a lie. What they said was offensive, we thought was cutting edge. The truth from our perspective, this was our only pledge. It's the price that you pay. The skies, they went from blue to darkest grey. This really was the price we had.